to share the Buddha's teachings in a tragic situation like this, to calm your minds and to uh, keep your minds awakened with the Buddha's teachings. So let's take refuge and observe the five precepts. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. To observe the five precepts, please say after me. I observe the precept of abstaining from killing beings. I observe the precept of abstaining from stealing. I observe the precept of abstaining from sexual misconduct. I observe the precept of abstaining from telling lies. I observe the precept of abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs. I follow these precepts for happiness in this life, for rebirth in heaven, and to realize the Four Noble Truths. In this Gautama Buddha's dispensation, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Meritorious Dhamma friends, we have conducted now, I think, 2 programs so far, Meditate After Work, and it has been successfully conducted, and devotees have asked various questions and clarified their doubts through these programs. So that shows that this has benefited people, even the ones who are living away from Sri Lanka. So today, I believe it'll be good if we can do some meditation first of all for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then go for the sermon so that we can calm our minds first of all, and then think something wholesome at the beginning of the program and learn some few drops from the Buddha's teachings. So sit in a comfortable posture. If you can cross your legs and sit, that is great. Wholesome at the beginning of the program. So now listen to me and think according to what I say. Let's understand the impermanence nature of our body. Let's think genuinely. The I is impermanent. Think about your I and think that your I is changing. Day by day, your eyes is changing. The I will decay one day. The ability of seeing this world will abandon. That can happen any time. So we shouldn't become proud of this I, because the I is impermanent, impermanent, impermanent. Remember that fact. The things that we see from our eyes are also lasting for a short period. The things that we have seen few years ago, now when you see the same things, they have changed. Whatever the attachment that we had in the past, now we might not have a single attachment towards them because things are impermanent, has changed. Things are deteriorating. So the things that we see from our eyes are also changing and they are also impermanent. So we are looking at the world from an impermanent eye. Through an impermanent eye, we are looking at impermanent things. Then now we all think wisely whether it's good to get attached to things what we see from our eyes. What Buddha said was, these eyes, the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, are like empty houses. The things that we see from our eyes, the things that we hear from our ears, are like thieves, like bandits. Imagine thieves are stealing houses that are totally empty, nothing valuable in those houses. So this is the reality of our lives. So when we see things from our eyes, we should remember that these things are impermanent. These things are subjected to suffering. These things are not under my control. Then whatever the attachments that get developed in our eye, in our mind, those attachments, whatever the attachment that could get developed will not get developed. Why? We are seeing things as impermanent. The ear is also impermanent, dear Dharma friends. Don't forget that. Take these advices, like keeping a flower garland on your head, the Buddha's great advices, the reality of life. Don't think unnecessary things. Stick to the meditation. Now think the ear is impermanent. Impermanent. Imagine how the ear is made out. Made up of what? The ear is made up of four great elements. These four great elements are also impermanent. The things that we hear from the ear are impermanent. So after you hear something, if it is unbeneficial, whatever the sound that you heard rises anger. If any of those things that you heard give rise to anger, or give rise to lust, or give rise to delusion, we shouldn't think again and again those sounds that you heard before. Or if you are hearing something in the present, something that makes you upset, we shouldn't pay attention to those sounds. We should pay attention to mindfulness towards the body or to our body postures, or understand the impermanent nature of sound. Dear Dharma friends, sounds are impermanent. Understand that. Even if you are hearing something irritating, don't pay attention to that. Don't recall that. Don't recall those sounds again and again and feel bad. Why should we feel bad just because of a sound that we heard? Sounds are impermanent, dear Dharma friends. Then our nose, we smell good and bad both. We smell good fragrance, sweet fragrance, as well as bad smell. When we smell sweet fragrance, we get attached. When we smell a bad fragrance, we get angry, we get opposed. We don't want both of these attachments neither to get opposed or to get deluded. Let's be neutral. Even if you experience as fragrant, even if you experience a fragrance, even if you experience a sweet fragrance, think that this sweet fragrance is also impermanent, very temporary. Just because of a cause, just because some cause, just because of a just because some cause we are smelling a sweet fragrance. Once that cause is abandoned, that sweet fragrance also gets abandoned. We should be aware of the true nature of the world and then live a life that is detached. So, the nose is also impermanent. Then, whatever the smells you experience through the nose, then whatever the smells you experience through the nose are also impermanent. 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 The smell is subjected to suffering and it is not under our control. Then the tongue is also made out of four great elements. We spend so much money to give happiness for our tongue. The whole body won't feel the taste. Just a small piece of tongue will, will experience a little bit of taste for a short period. Once you consume food, when the food get mixed with saliva, you will immediately gulp it or throw it away from your mouth. After you eat it, you feel disgusted. So, the tongue that you are making happy, the tongue that you are giving and providing sweet food, one day this tongue will not be able to recognize sweet or bitterness or sour. The tongue will die. Remember, this tongue is also impermanent. So don't get angry for the things that you taste through your tongue, because this tongue is something that we have or use for a short period. Don't get angry because of a tongue. Don't get angry or don't feel sad just because the food is not tasty. This tongue is impermanent. The sweet food that we eat are also impermanent. Even a sweet taste or even a coarse food is also impermanent. Dear Dharma friends, our body is also impermanent. We try to beautify this body, but one day we will come to a stage where we can't cover the reality. The skin will get wrinkled, we will become hunchback, we will need a walking stick to walk. You will cry because of this body one day. You will get fed up because of this body one day. So now onwards, now itself, understand the body that you are beautifying is impermanent. You can wear beautiful clothes, but don't get intoxicated. Don't get intoxicated or become proud because of the beauty that you have. This beauty is impermanent. If you become proud, the next thing you will become arrogant. Once you become arrogant, you will use harsh words. You will be jealous of others. You will be jealous. You will be jealous of the other beautiful people in the world. Why should we be jealous? If we know that our body is impermanent, we will never become jealous. Then the feelings that we experience through the body could be a good comfort, a good feeling, a good tangible, or a worst feeling, or a bad feeling, or a painful feeling. All those feelings, pleasant, unpleasant, neither unpleasant, all those feelings that you feel through your body are impermanent. Impermanent. So don't fight for feelings. Don't fight for your comfort. Don't get angry because of comfort. Then the mind that goes on long journeys, this mind that is located inside this body is also impermanent. 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 The mind changes. Our happiness can be taken away over a second. Within an instant, the happiness can fade away. Even a sadness can be faded away within an instant. Within an instant, our sadness in the mind can be faded away, can be abandoned by the power of the Buddha's teachings. The mind is also impermanent. Then the thoughts that get generated in our minds are also impermanent. All these things are impermanent. When you know that you are having these impermanent things, and through these impermanent things, you are experiencing the world, you are seeing and hearing and feeling things that are impermanent. When you know that you are dealing with impermanent things, you will live for the sake of living this life, for the sake of realizing the Four Noble Truths, for the sake of purifying the mind, for the sake of helping others, but not for the sake of harming others, even for any reason. So understand, our life is impermanent. Our life is impermanent. Think, our life is impermanent. Our life is impermanent. Now slowly open your eyes. Dear Dhamma friends, so we took part in the meditation session. We contemplated the impermanence nature of the body, just to practice detachment and to overcome attachments and to live a life free of sufferings. Now, when you take the Buddha's teachings, it's all about thinking the impermanence nature, thinking the impurities of the body, and also understanding the disgusting nature of the food that we eat. So you all might be wondering why all these why we have to think so much negative things. Well, the negative side of this life is seeing things in a wrong way that will increase your lust, anger, and delusion. That is negative. What is positive is seeing things as really they are. Now, imagine there's a huge cobra, a venomous serpent. If that serpent is a venomous serpent, if that serpent is poisonous, do we see that venomous serpent as a rabbit or as a serpent that is not poisonous? Now, when we look at a snake, even though it is not a cobra, we might think it could be a cobra. We might think that no, this couldn't be a simple snake. We could think this could be a python or a cobra. So when it comes to those things, we suspect. Then in a family life, they suspect their husband and wives. Even if they have not done anything wrong, they suspect unnecessarily. So the things that they shouldn't do, they do. The things that they should do, they give up. Now you will understand what is positive and negative. Now see the advantage of, I will tell you a nice story. I will reveal a wonderful story that happened in the past, took place in the past. Uh, excuse me. So I will explain you a incident happened during the Buddha's time. Uh, there were there was a king, a very rich person, a very rich king. Obviously, kings are rich, but sometimes kings they uh, they they actually they are sometimes our bodhisattva in the past lives. Once the bodhisattva was punished to leave the kingdom. So here today we are learning a story from the Buddha's teachings, from a Jataka story about a king and a queen. So what happened? This king and queen lived happily. They had a good life. They they practice a good dhamma. They used to practice 10 wholesome qualities. They practice the dasa kusala dhamma. They practice 10 wholesome qualities. So this king died before the queen died. Sometimes the queen dies early. So here in this case, the king passed away, and then the queen did not get married to anyone else. After the king passed away, the queen did not get married to anyone else. What happened? After some time, after a few days, in the middle of the night, uh, a divine being came to where the queen was living. A divine being came uh, to the place where the queen was living, to the room, near to the window. Well, if you take in these mansions in palace, um, in the king's room, they will have a separate place to rest outside the room and see the city and look around the place. So, in the middle of the night, a divine being came to meet this queen. So, this divine being came with a golden pot filled with gold. So, imagine you call it could be the balcony or veranda, whatever the place. So, this divine being came to the window and invited the queen to come outside the room. Invited the queen to come outside the room, outside from the room. Uh, then the king said, "Dear princess, I came from a divine world. Look, I have a pot filled with gold, and this pot is made out of gold, and this pot is filled with gold. Would you like to spend this night with me? Would you like to spend? I will offer this pot filled with gold to you." Then the queen said, "No, I am living a celibate life. I am living a celibate life. Don't even think of it." Then this divine being went back. Then on another day, this divine being came to meet this queen in the middle of the night. So for this queen, like after the king passed away, the entire king, the authority over kingdom, uh, the authority over the kingdom belongs to the queen. The queen has the authority over the kingdom, over the country. So there's no one to punish the queen. But yet she refused. Then the second day, the the god came to meet the queen uh, with a pot made with silver and filled with silver, and invited the queen. "Would you like to spend the night with me?" Then the queen said, "No, you are addressing the wrong person. I am living a celibate life. Even my king has passed away. My precepts has not passed away. My precepts are there to give me happiness. My good qualities will give me happiness. The precepts will protect my life. The happiness that you are seeking." Now this queen is advising the king, advising the god. The queen is telling, "My happiness that I get, the happiness that I experience through the precepts, I don't get from what you are expecting. I seek happiness by living a celibate life." Then the third day, now he went back. Then again on the third day, this divine being came. That means not giving up. So then this divine being, third day, came with another pot, but this time the pot is made out of iron, rusted. This pot is also rusted, and then filled with iron inside. And then invited the queen again. "Would you like to spend this night with me?" Then this queen said, "Well, now this is the third time you are inviting me. What I'm worried is you inviting me. What I'm worried is not for what you are inviting. I'm not worried for what you are inviting. But what I'm concerned is the first day when you came to invite me, you offered me a golden pot filled with gold. The second day when you came, you offered me a silver pot filled with silver. Now, on the third day when you came here, you are offering me a pot made out of iron that is rusted and filled with iron. Why you are reducing the quality and the price? Then the god Sakka said, "Look, I am not an ordinary divine being. I am your husband in previous life. I came to check you. Honestly, first day I brought you a pot made out of gold because that time you were young. The second time when I came to meet you, you have grown old. That's why I offered you a pot made out of iron, a pot made out of silver. Then, uh, then, the god sucker says that the third day I offered you a rusted iron. Third day I offered you a pot made out of iron. That's because you have grown old. Now, now, when you take human beings, what would human beings do? Human beings, okay, first day they will offer something, maybe a rose flower. Then second day, two roses. Then third day, then a chocolate. They increase. Now people don't understand that people are getting old day by day. People are getting old day by day. The disgusting nature of the body increases day by day. But we increase the gifts. So we should understand, dear Dharma friends, from these stories. Now, these are not fairy tales. These are not fairy tales. These are honestly stories that happen in reality among wise people. We can't believe these stories because we are not wise enough. Remember, only a wise person can recognize another wise person. A foolish person, how can a foolish person recognize another wise person? That foolish person should become wise by associating wise people. Then only that wise person can understand these wise stories. So this doesn't mean that if you are in relation with someone, you should offer something that is cheap day by day. But from this story, we should understand that don't just cry for these unnecessary things that you can't achieve in life. So if you get attached to something that you see from your eyes, you should understand that why I'm attached to these things. If you're suffering because of something in this world, think why I'm suffering, because of what I'm suffering. What is this thing that I'm suffering? What is the cause for this suffering? What is this thing that makes me sad? Then you will understand, or whatever the object, or whatever the thing, whatever the problem, when you think wisely, when you contemplate deeply, you will understand that, oh, these things that I'm thinking too much are impermanent, are not are not lasting in with the same appearance every day. So when you think like that, dear Dhamma friends, your mind will get liberated. So see this small story, how valuable it is. First day offering a golden pot, second day offering a pot made of silver, third day made out of iron. Now even that woman, she was concerned why this person is reducing and find out. Then she realized that I'm getting old, and then she was heedful. She was more heedful than before. So we should also understand that day by day we are getting old, and our lifespan is getting used up day by day. So when our life is getting used up, we should spend our life doing wholesome deeds. So that's why we are here conducting all these programs, these live programs, meditate after work program, and then Dhamma discussions to awaken your minds to a great extent and understand the value of learning the Buddha's teachings and practicing the Buddha's teachings and make our lives successful and live a peaceful life. So today I did a impermanence. I did a meditation on impermanence, to be detached, and also uh, we learned a nice story to understand what happens to our life day by day. By knowing the danger of what's happening to our life, we should be heedful, we should be diligent, we should dedicate our life something. We should dedicate our life that is something valuable and useful, for something that is valuable and useful, and calm our minds and gain the protection that we could gain forever, not a protection that we can gain for a couple of days or couple of months. If someone think that um, a vehicle would give him a protection that isn't a real protection. If someone think that money will give his total protection, that is not a total protection. A house is not a total protection. A degree is not a total protection. Recently, one person sent me an email saying that, Bante, I have 2 degrees, but still I'm just doing an ordinary job. So you need to have a good merit to be successful in life. So that's why we should be heedful in practicing this Dhamma. And furthermore, I would like to remind you all, now in the beginning of the program, I taught you, and we have been discussing that we have been telling you about this thinking, the impurities of the body, and then seeing the disgusting nature. And then also Buddha taught us in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, um, like to compare this live body to a dead body. Like when you should think about your body and think this body will decay one day. This body will get eaten by worms. This body will decay. Then flesh will, then pus will come out from the body after we die. Then blood will ooze. Then this body will be a nest for worms. Will be a place for worms. So this will be eaten by worms, and this will be buried in earth. So the skeleton will scatter and will decay. One day this body will belong to the earth. So when you think wisely like this, the true nature of the body, even if someone scold you, even if someone insult you, you will think that, well, it's fair for someone to insult a body that will get decayed one day. Worms will eat one day. Okay, once worms start eating this body, once you are born, after you die, once you are born in a different birth, what can you do for that body? Then will we get angry? Then will we get annoyed? Once we are born in the hell, or once we are born in a different life, then we have to keep our mouth shut. We have to keep quiet and live whatever the life we get. Now we don't know what's happening to the previous body even. But right now, when something happens to the body, when someone insults us, we get angry, we get annoyed. Why? We take this body as me, mine, under our control. We don't consider this body as a dead body. We don't consider this body as a skeleton even. We don't understand this body will be scattered one day. This flesh will be eaten by worms. We don't think like that. So when you don't think like that, what any disaster could happen to our mind, any disaster could happen to our life. We could suffer immensely. We could fight. Now some people they fight for lands and end up in the prison. As if they're using those lands as if they're using those lands for many lives. No, not even their children. So there are meditations like loving kindness meditation, then thinking the Buddha's great qualities, then practicing equanimity, and also practicing compassion. Then so then thinking of how generous the practicing the meditation on generosity, and meditation on virtue, meditation on kalyanamittas. So there are meditations that uh, that are like you that those meditation falls into samatha, and like meditations like loving kindness, that is to overcome hatred. But in terms of attachment towards the body, like in terms of lust, overcoming even hatred, to overcome delusion, uh, we will have to understand the true nature of the body. So in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the first meditation technique that Buddha teaches is to focus to the body. So first of all, we should be able to focus to the body and understand the true nature of the body. Then we can gradually understand the nature of the feelings, mind, and the Dhamma. So today we learn these valuable teachings from the Buddha. So may you have the opportunity to understand the true nature of our body, how we get old uh, day by day, how uh, the what happens to the value of our life, and we should be heedful. Use this human life for something very important, to purify our minds and not to be born with an undeveloped mind again in future births, to gain the protection, to be born with a developed mind or with a great effort to realize the Four Noble Truths to a greatest extent and realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So now we have come to the question and answer session. So if you have any questions, you can, the ones who are listening through the radio, they can ask through the radio. The ones who are listening through the Zoom, they can ask through the Zoom and we can reply to those questions. So take a break of 5 minutes and get prepared with questions. You can send message privately through the Zoom, and also you can send messages through the CDF radio page, sharingkalama.org radio page. And if someone asks questions through the Facebook, the volunteers can forward them through the Zoom chat. Okay, so far there are no questions. So dear Dharma friends, these days you all may be still, you all are still living at home. So try to spend your days in a meaningful way. Try to have a timetable. Try to follow a timetable. At least try to practice 3 meditations uh, every day. In the morning, you can start with Buddhanusati. So as to start the day in a meaningful way, you can wake up a little bit early. You can wake up early morning. Don't sleep late night. So wake up early morning and do Teruvan Vandana. You can light a lamp to the Buddha, and you can offer a glass of water to the Buddha. And if you have some incense sticks, you can offer the incense sticks. And you can go for refuge to Buddha Dhamma Sangha, observe 5 precepts or observe 8 precepts, and chant Karaniya Metta Sutta early morning, and then clean the house, and then start reading a Dhamma book, or else you can listen to a Dhamma sermon, and then do Buddhanusati. Before that, you can do Buddhanusati like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Recall the Buddha's great qualities and brighten your mind with the Buddha's great qualities, because the Buddha was the one and only person who had those great qualities. So now just imagine like this. Now imagine you have gone outside Sri Lanka, and when your mother or father is calling you and finding and inquiring about you, and when they call you, when you see the call, you feel happy. Imagine a newly married, and I'm not talking a old couple, maybe a newly married couple, or maybe a boyfriend or a girlfriend. When a boyfriend receives a call from a girlfriend, they're happy to answer the phone. Sometimes waiting for a call. So that's because there is some attachment towards those people. They are appealing to them. So there's more happiness that you can experience by recollecting the Buddha, by thinking of the Buddha. That happiness is developed through wisdom. And when you think of the Buddha, you are thinking wholesome qualities, the wholesome achievements, the great achievements that Buddha achieved in life. And keep on, uh, once you start keep on thinking the Buddha's qualities, you will also have a hope and a determination to achieve the great qualities that as a disciple could achieve. For an example, now when you take the Buddha's first quality, the Buddha is an arahant. The Buddha was free from lust, anger, and delusion. So when you hear that our Buddha was free from lust, anger, and delusion, you will think, I am not still free from lust, anger, and delusion. So when we are not free from lust, anger, and delusion, next moment, next day, in next moment, due to any external uh, distraction, you can get angry. You can immensely suffer. You may get attached to things. So these problem arises due to because of lust, anger, and delusion. Living with a mind that is overwhelmed with lust, anger, and delusion. So when you think that Buddha was free from lust, anger, and delusion, you will have a hope to be free from lust, anger, and delusion. So like that, when you take the second quality, Buddha realizes the Four Noble Truths without a guidance of a teacher. So then when you think of that quality, you will also have the hope to realize the Four Noble Truths. Then Vidyacharana Sampanno, then the Buddha's great achievements, Buddha attained great Buddha saw the past lives, Buddha saw the passing away of other beings, then Buddha eradicated all the taints. Buddha had great virtue, great concentration, great wisdom. Then you will think that I am not endowed with great concentration, wisdom. Then you will also have a desire to develop those qualities. So, like that, we should think of a person who is greater than us always. Thinking somebody who is equal to us will not help us to develop qualities. We should always associate people are superior to us. Rather live alone. If there's no one to associate superior than you, better to live a lonely life. Better to live alone. Because associating foolish people, associating fools will will take our life to a greater disaster and end up being born in a bad place even. Like Ajasatta. Ajasatta was the person who did the first Sangha council, who helped the Sangha to do the first Sangha council, Ajasatta. But that Ajasatta who had the merit to do such good deeds, just because of associating Devadatta, he killed his father. Ajasatta killed his own father. So associating foolish people. Think about your life even if someone invited you to do something bad, if someone invited you for something unwholesome, if you did something bad in your life, think who was behind you. For sure, by seeing someone doing something evil, or else someone forced you to do that, or someone advised you to do that. So don't associate foolish people, associate wise people. Then there are some questions to be answered. Bante, how many worlds are there? Uh, when you take divine worlds, there are six divine worlds. When you take Brahma worlds, I think there are 14 or 15 Brahma worlds. If you can go to the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, I can't remember the number of worlds. If you can refer to the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, all the divine worlds and a lot of Brahma worlds are explained. So you can count from there. So then we can take human world, then animal world, ghost world, asura world, and then world, hell world, divine worlds, Brahma worlds. So, but these worlds Like even if you take health, there are numbers of healths. There are many numbers of hells. There are many hells. Even if you take ghost world, there are many ghost worlds. So one thing we should understand, there are good destinations and bad destinations. So we should be concerned about those things and get away and abandon the birds in bad worlds and be born in good worlds. Then how to forgive a person who keep doing the same wrong to you, no matter you keep forgiving. Most venerable Bhante is love and lust. You keep forgiving. Okay. Two questions. How to forgive a person who keep doing the same wrong to you, no matter you keep forgiving. Okay. Well, the quality of forgiving others will never be wasted. That is a wholesome quality. And if someone is apologizing, that is also a great quality without hiding their mistakes. So it's up to you. Like like we would have also lived among lay people by forgiving others. And if you feel like the lay life is troublesome, if you feel like you should know, like if it is a person who is working in the office for a mistake they have done, if they ask for forgiveness, you should forgive them. But then when it's come to a family life, it's we have to consider. Then when it's come to a friend, we have to consider. So when it comes to the mother and father, even if a mother does a wrong, you have to forgive them. There's no way that you can get angry at your mother. Like when it come to the father, even if your father is coming home being drunken, and if the father is hitting your mother, you can't never get angry with your father, because if you how bad your father is, if you get angry at your father, that is a bad karma for you. But imagine like if you come to relationships, like if you are not married, and also if there are like young people, if you have friends, like if they're taking alcohol, drugs, and if you again and again try to correct them, but then if they're not listening, then you will have to take a decision, a wise decision, in a way to protect your life and protect the other person's life as well. So those things through the Buddha's teachings you should understand. We can't directly tell, okay, you should dump that person to have that person. Later on you will say that, oh, now look, that person has changed, in vain I dumped that person. So some people, now the thing is, some people during their in some time they are bad, sometimes they are good, later on they might become good. Some people who were good, later they become, sometimes they could become bad. So this is unpredictable. So that's why you shouldn't get fed up with these people who irritate you, or whether they do the same mistake again and again. You should get fed up with being born among such people, to coming to a world like this again and again. You should get fed up with sansara. You should get fed up with birth. You should get disenchanted to birth, to meeting these such people again and again. Then find a solution for your rebirth. Then these problems are solved. Because selecting people and living with good people for a long time, maintaining relationships in the same way is 100% impossible. No way. Unless they become stream entrants, you could be able to live a happy life. If not, think whether you can do it. Venerable Bhante, is love and lust same? Love and lust are two different things. Now, now imagine, take like this, as long as now lust is now food, food towards lust towards food. So lust toward food. So that is having lust towards food. Then we can have lust towards beautiful things. Then now take like this. Mm, imagine you see, imagine during your young age, you see a young girl sees a young boy, or a young boy sees a young girl. Then during their young age, because of the beauty, they might get attached because of the beauty. And they might, sensual thoughts might arise in the mind, to talk to her in a lonely place, to take her to a secret place and meet her without the consent of the parents. So, and then those are lustful thoughts. That is lust. And engage in sexual activities, that is because of lust, not because of love. Now, a person thinks like this. Imagine, love means, imagine the girl does not look beautiful anymore. Now, she has come to the middle age. But still, the husband take care of that woman, shows the same love as he showed during the young age. Even after even after her hair gets wrinkled, even after her skin gets wrinkled, the husband uh, will have the same compassion. Will not talk rudely. Will not talk in a rude way. Will not speak harshly. So that is love. So lust and love are two different things. Love is using pleasant speech, not using harsh speech. Love is thinking about others. And now, for an example, I met one person who worked for the military. When he was working in the military, he has fallen in love with a girl, and then he had a relationship with the girl, but then he has never engaged in unnecessary uh, sexual activities with that girl, because he was worrying that if he dies before getting married, because he's working in the military, this girl um, will not be able to get easily married to another person, and it is not good for this girl's reputation. Then he has not engaged in sexual activities because he loved that girl. He had some lust towards the girl. He had lustful thoughts, but he abandoned them by understanding the impermanence nature of his body and of his life. And he had love towards that girl, real love towards that girl, and he controlled his lust. He wanted to uh, wait until his marriage, so that the world knows that that girl was married, that woman is married. So even after marriage, if the man dies, the world knows, the relative knows, so she don't have to make stories to get married again. What happened after he got married? Still he has worked in the military, yet he has thought, even I'm married, still if I die, it couldn't be good for this girl. And then he has not engaged in any sexual activities during the marriage life. What happened? He has resigned from the military, and then he has learned the Dhamma. And both of them has thought, what is in past lives, you would have been my mother. I would have been your father. You would have been my daughter in past life. I would have been your son. You would have been my mother. When you think of the past, how can we engage in sexual activities? And both of them started living a celibate life. Can you think of such a life? These are qualities. Imagine a person engaged in sexual activities for 8 years. What do you get after 8 years? Nothing. Celibate life for 8 years. A celibate life for 8 years. Nibbana will be often for you. Peace, happiness. Now, one who lives a celibate life, he will not suspect, he will not cry because of a husband. A husband won't cry because of a wife. They don't suspect each other. They don't have to check their phones each other. They don't have no quarrels, no fighting. It's peaceful life. So, so imagine, if you want to live a peaceful life, if you want to live a lay life, live with full of mindfulness, or rather give up this sensual happiness and live a celibate life by experiencing the happiness that comes through a celibate life. So love and lust are two things. If anyone here has questions, can ask. The second question, Bante, does a Chuti Sita make a big difference in your rebirth? For instance, you do good deeds in a lifespan, but suddenly before you die, you get a bad thought. What would happen? Forget about the Chuti Sita. We should learn from the Buddha. One day, a person called Mahanama, a Shakya, Buddha's relative, Mahanama Shakya went to the Buddha and said, Blessed One, when I go in the street, when I go in the middle of the street in the town, I can't concentrate Dhamma. I can't concentrate my mind. I can't focus to the Dhamma because when I'm going through the cities, when I'm walking through the city, there are horses, there are horse carriages, people are yelling, shouting. I see various things. Then people are in shops are making noise, yelling. So I can't concentrate on Dhamma. How can I focus? What will happen if I die at that moment? Then Buddha said, Mahanama, for a long time you have been practicing wholesome deeds. So those wholesome deeds, just like when you throw a pot filled with oil, throwing a pot filled with oil to a river, what happens when a pot is thrown to a river? The pot will sink down and the pot will break, but the oil will come to the surface. Like that, your good qualities will take you to a higher divinity, to a higher place. Remember, so that is practicing good deeds for a long time. So you should be practicing like 5 precepts for a long time. Generosity for a long time, not just giving generosity once a year and just thinking of 3 months and giving it, not thinking of the Mahasangan offering and not protecting the precepts for a long time. So like that, you can't get a protection. That the Tisarana, the refuge from the Buddha Dhamma Sangha should be there in your mind. So that all depends on how much qualities you have done. So, but anyway, remember, having bad thoughts in the last stage, having bad thoughts, evil thoughts in the last stage is not good. Can change the destination also. Due to lack of good deeds, that can happen. Then there's another question. Bante does, yeah, the same question. Yeah. So. So far we have answered all the questions, and we did a good meditation in the beginning of the program. So uh, now is 7:37. If you feel free to meditate again for a couple of for some time, you can still stay tuned and take part in a meditation session, and then do sharing of merit and conclude the program. That's another question. Bante, is that what happened to King Dharma Ashoka? Yeah, Dharma Ashoka, uh, he made 84,000 great stupas, temples for the Buddha and Mahasangha. But then he had some doubts. He was born in a bad destination. But then later he was born. He received a human life and he was able to um, gain the ultimate protection in life. So that's because he did good deeds. So don't remember, good deeds will never fade away. After the bad come is over, the good deeds will come up again and will uplift your life to a greater place. So good deeds are never wasted. So let's meditate again. Sit in a comfortable posture. Let's do a loving kindness meditation. Let's honestly spread loving kindness towards all beings, even the ones who are suffering from this coronavirus. Let's spread loving kindness to them. Let's spread loving kindness to all the doctors, all the nurses for their great dedication. So sit in a comfortable posture. Close your eyes. And think according to what I say. Don't take this loving kindness meditation as a simple meditation. That is opposite of loving kindness is hatred. So to overcome hatred, we are practicing loving kindness. May I be free from anger. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. May I live in peace. May I live happily. May all beings wish for the happiness of others. Wish for the happiness of others. Do it genuinely. May all beings in this village be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they live in peace. May they live happily. May all beings in this city be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. they live in peace. May they live happily. May all beings in this province, think about all the living beings, human beings, non human beings, creatures, animals, birds. May all beings in this province be free from anger, be free from ill will, be free from jealousy, be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they live in peace. May they live happily. May all beings in this country be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they live in peace. May they live happily. May all beings in this country be free from anger, be free from ill will, be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they live in peace. May they live happily. May all beings in this world. Now think about the beings in the world away from Sri Lanka, all the countries, in all the countries. May all beings in this world be free from anger, be free from ill will, be free from jealousy, be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they live in peace. May they live happily. May all beings in all worlds be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they live in peace. May they live happily. May all beings in all worlds be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they live in peace. May they live happily. May they live happily. Slowly open your eyes. So, we did loving kindness meditation, we practice impermanence meditation. So, now we have come to the end of the program. So, first of all, let's share merit with all the divine beings. May all divine beings protect this Mother Island, protect everyone who's suffering from coronavirus. May all the gods help us to uh, reduce the spreading of coronavirus, help to abandon this coronavirus. May all the gods realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may all the departed relatives of all of us rejoice in this merit, be well and happy, and have happiness, and realize the Four Noble Truths. May all the departed relatives escape from suffering as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may my teacher, Avasarai, most venerable Avasarai Kiribadgoda Jnanananda Mahatera, and the Mahasangha, and all the monks and nuns of Mahamana Buddhist monasteries and all over the world be well and happy, have happiness, and realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may everyone who took part in this Dhamma program, and uh, may may everyone who took part in this Dhamma program, and all the people who are suffering from the coronavirus, may all the coronavirus patients and everyone who are locked down in houses, may they be, may they get, may they have the protection from the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, may they be protected from the coronavirus, and may they be well and happy, have happiness, and realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And also, there's a question finally. Mm. My question is, what is the difference between Panya Vimutta and Cheto Vimutta? Well, Panya Vimukta. For Arahants, we use the Panya Vimukta, but Cheto Vimukta, we don't use for Arahants for Cheto Vimukta. When you spread loving kindness, there are two ways you spread loving kindness meditation. Um, one is direction wise, and one is increasing the space that you're spreading loving kindness. So I'm not sure to which question you are actually preferring to, but here I can't straight away give an answer because the question is not quite clear to which uh, pertaining on what whether it's pertaining on arahants or on loving kindness. So please make the question clear so we can answer it next time, or leave your email address, we can reply to you. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai.